Hello, it's Mike here again on a real estate investors video. For those people who are first-time investors, people who are just entering the industry, people who are trying to think about whether they may be interested in buying an investment property. It can be a daunting decision for a lot of people. It's the initial first step. So I'm just going to do this video today to try and give you some sort of advice on my experience. I've been in the business for a number of years, over 30 years. And obviously when you're talking about going into the investment industry and to buy a rental property, the first thing you do is what sort of property should you buy? So look, I've just got a list here of items which I've always thought are necessary if you want to buy a real estate investment property and you're going to keep it long term. And you're the sort of person who wants stability and you want good tenants. Now, this list that I'm about to give you is a list which I've found over the years most people renting a house, families, people who are looking for a longer term lease. These are the things they normally ask for. The first thing is 3 bedrooms. For a family, 3 bedrooms is really the minimum. You can go to 2, but I've found over the years it's much harder to rent. A lot less people looking for that style of home. The next step down from that is a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, which is a different sort of a rental market, different sort of tenancy. An ensuite I've found with families as well. If you've got a family with people both working and there's sort of people who are paying a little bit more for a rental property. They want something a little bit in better condition. Normally an ensuite is something they ask for. A double garage. My properties over the years, I've had some with single garages. I've had some with carports. Generally make it much more difficult to rent out, to find good quality tenants. Double garage, under the main roof with a lock, under lock and key, security, much better, trying to find good tenants. Open plan living room, that's popular, always has been for many last 30, 40 years. Open plan living with kitchen, dine, living area in the one area, away from the bedrooms. I've found that that's a lot what tenants ask for. Air conditioning, I'm talking from Australia, so air conditioning in Australia is very important, especially in South Australia, which hot summers. So air conditioning, I've found if you want to get good quality tenants and you want to have a good selection of tenants to choose from, air conditioning is a must. Tiled floored areas in the living areas. Rental properties, maintenance is the issue. Obviously, you want to keep your maintenance as easy as possible for the tenants. So I've always put tiled floors through the kitchen, dining, living area and down the corridor passageways. I've found that tenants really like that idea. It makes it much easier for them to keep it clean, and you'll find that with your inspections, you get a lot better a condition report on that. Storage area. Tenants notoriously have things that they need to bring with them, especially if it's a family, possibly with teenagers, mature age tenants. They've got storage, they've got quite a bit of gear which they bring, so you need to have storage areas in the double garage. Generally in the double garage, I get the big floor-to-ceiling cupboards built. That's very popular. They can store a lot of gear in there, and I've always had good reports from that from tenants. Regarding the location, now obviously if you're a first-time investor thinking about buying your first rental property, money is going to be the issue. By the time you've worked out your finance, how much you can borrow, the property will be located in an area where you can afford. Now, if coming from me, and I've been a lot of rental properties, I can always say within 10 kilometres of the CBD, you'll get the volume You'll get a volume of tenants which you'll be able to choose from, and you'll generally get people who are prepared to pay a bit more in rental money. They may be working in the CBD or in the inner metro area. They generally want to be within 10 kilometres of the CBD. So I've generally tried to be within that sort of area, especially if I've got a newer property and I'm going for a higher rent. That location is pretty well a must. Age. Now, the age of your first property investment house, that will be, of course, determined on your money, the finances you've got to spend. In a perfect world, regarding rental properties, I always like to have a property from 1 to, say, 20 years old. Solid brick, generally. But in that sort of age group, you can be assured that it'll be in reasonably good maintenance. It may need a paint or it may need some landscaping, just a general tidy up. But at least you know it'll be solid and it'll be probably quite a few years away from major works being done to it, and tenants like properties within that sort of age group. So if you can keep within that sort of age group, then it'll make it much more easier for you in the initial years of your investment. But of course, if you can only afford a certain amount of money and it's a little bit less than the median price for your state or your city, then you may have to go out further, but it will restrict the quality of the tenants and the money that you'll receive in your weekly return. So there's the must-dos or the ideas that I've come up with over the years regarding property which to buy, and I hope you get something out of that. See you on the next time.